What's up, Gage into Chaos? Thanks for being here. Today, I'm going to go over a question that I was asked on social media that somebody wanted the answer to. His name's Gaius. Awesome guy, by the way. Hi, Gaius. He wanted to know if I could break down some of the data that we get on KDP with our Kindle Vella series. And I'm going to break that down for you and go over some of those answers on how you can look at your data and understand how your series is doing. Before we get to that, I have a Facebook page now called the Gage into Chaos, and on there I'm going to be putting exclusive content every week that goes beyond what we cover in this video. This week I'm going to talk about how I wrote 100,000 words in 4.5 months without having more than 5 to 10 minute increments to write that in. I don't have the schedule where I can sit down for hours at a time and write. So if you're a busy person and you're struggling to figure out how you can get all those words down in a short period of time, check that out. Make sure you sign up for my page, and I'll talk about the techniques that I use to get those words out, even though you don't have a lot of time to sit down and write them. Now, before we move on, I gotta do some hawking. I'm gonna call it hawking of my wares, if you will, some self-promotion. And I want you guys to know, you just being here means the world to me. Every time you check out my videos, I love you for it. So if you're not interested in the self-promotion stuff, you don't care about my stuff that I gotta promote here, just skip ahead to the next chapter. I love you. Thank you for being here. Now, I get a lot of comments on Facebook, people who support this page and say Gage is doing a great job and doing all this stuff. And I love you guys for it. Thank you so much. It's really the validation that I need, and it means the world to me. It is more than enough. It is everything. It makes me so happy. I work really hard on this channel. It takes a lot of my time that I don't get paid for it. You know what I mean? I'm not monetized, not yet anyway. You have to get to 1,000 subscribers to do that. So hitting like and subscribe means the world to me as well. It gets me a little bit closer to that. I don't have a Patreon. I don't have any of that kind of stuff. If you would like to support further, if you would like to, no pressure here. Like I said, I love that you guys are here with me. But if you would like to, a couple of things you can do. Spread the word. A lot of you do that on the Facebook and author pages. You'll say, oh, Gage has a great video about this, or things like that. That means the world. Just letting people know who would get value out of this channel, let them know about it and send them my way. Let's build up that subscriber base and get me to the 1,000 subscribers. Another cool thing you can do is just check out the stories I write, if you're into them. If you like dystopian or urban fantasy or horror or any of those kinds of things, check out the stuff I write. I always put a link in the description to them. And like I said about the new page I have on Facebook, I'll have a link to that in the description as well. And lastly, I have merch now. If you're interested in becoming a Gage into Chaos, check out my merch store. I'll put a link to that in the description as well. We have hats, we got hoodies, we got kids clothes, we got winter's myth stuff, we got everything you can imagine. Tons of Gage into Chaos gear though, so make sure you go check that out. All right, done hawking now. Let's get to the data. All right, thanks guys. I really love you all. I love you so much. All right, so we are looking at the KDP page. Scroll down and you can see my stories there. And we're going to click on the Kindle Vella library, and that brings you to the stories that I have. This right here says 4 live with unpublished changes. I didn't change anything. I went into those and then backed out, and now it says that forever and ever. I don't know how to get rid of it. Anyway, we're going to skip all that, and we're going to go up to Kindle Vella reports. And this is our dashboard. Anyway, you can see your episode thumbs up, your story follows, blah, blah, blah. Story reviews, all that kind of information is right down here. But we're going to click, I want to just do Winter's Myths. So that's what we're going to work on today. As you can see, it has 2,536 thumbs up and 435 follows and 10 reviews. So doing pretty good in the test of things there. So the next thing you're going to look at is episode by episode, just trying to gauge how each episode is doing. This, I think, is very valuable. And I like to do my math on paper with a Crayola marker. This is how the professionals do it. If you want to use an Excel sheet or something like that, go for it. Anyway, so you can see that oh, I gotta change this. We're gonna go up here to lifetime stats. That's what we want to see, lifetime. There's my lifetime total episodes read and locked episodes, which is, you can see a big difference there. I don't think that's too important. Your total episodes read based on your locked episodes read, because I think actually if you're advertising or you're getting a lot of readers from outside of the platform, those numbers will actually separate farther because you're going to get more people that just check it out and back away. Whereas if you're somebody you have your friends and family reading it and that's all you have, those numbers will probably be, it will look like your locked episodes have a really high percentage compared to your reads. So in actuality, a big separation might just mean you're doing a good job with your cover and your blurb and things that are bringing people in to check it out. Keeping them reading is a whole nother story. Anyway, let's go down and take a look at some of these episodes. So my first episode has 821 reads. The next one down has 464. The next one has 346. And then this is a big one. Once you get into the locked episodes, now you're looking at, were they willing to use a token on your story? And for that one, I have 217. So you can go through each episode and see how much the drop off is. In those first three and into the fourth, it's going to be higher than it should be once you get into the locked episodes. Once you've got people reading your locked episodes and willing to put a token towards it, you want to see a pretty consistent number going down just a little bit each time. The higher percentage you have in those, I think that's the single most important piece of data you can get from this, from these chapter reads. But I still think it's important to notice how well your first three are doing and if people are willing to keep reading. So if we go over these numbers a little bit, my episode 1 to 2, 56% of people who read episode 1 go on to episode 2. I think that's actually pretty low. So I think people have way higher numbers for that. But I'm not too concerned about it. I had a ton of people in January check out episode 1 and not read anymore. That's fine with me. Episode 2 to 3 gets 74%. So 74% of people who went to episode 2 went on to episode 3. How am I getting these numbers, by the way? You divide the later episode, so episode 3, by episode 2, and then you times it by 100, and that gets you your percentage. So 56 from 1 to 2, 74% from 2 to 3, and then 62% from 3 to 4. So 62% going from 3 to 4 is, I think, is a good number. People who decided to keep going after those free reads, 62% of them said, I'm going to buy some tokens and read this guy's next episode. That's super cool. The episodes, if you go from episode 1 to episode 4, so people who decided to check out my series in the first place and then made it all the way to the free episodes, is only 26%. That's a very low number. I've seen other authors talk about their numbers, and some of them have had as high as 50. So that's a number I could work on. Something about my first episode isn't clicking with people. Maybe, as I said before, that the cover and blurb could be good to draw people in, but maybe it's not good because maybe it's drawing the wrong people in. There's a lot of stuff I could look at with that and try and figure out. Once you get into the paid episodes, you can see there's just a slight gradual decline each time, 95 to 90. 90 to 86, 86 to 82. So just a few people dropping off each time. And every time I post a new episode, those numbers go up. So people are reading, they're just behind, or they're taking their time with it, and these numbers just go up a little bit each time, but they stay at that small distance between each other. Most of the episodes that I have later on are between 80 to 95% of people continuing to read, all the way, you see like 28, 28, 28, 27, 27, 27. So all those people, they're going to keep reading. They're just not caught up. They're not at that pace yet. So that's all good stuff, and that's what you want to look for. You want to look for low gradual declines each time. This episode is a weird anomaly here where I have 26 people read 40, 21 read 41, and then 24 read 42. That's strange to me. I don't know how that happened. Maybe some people just skipped that episode. It seems like a weird one to skip. There's nothing about it that would make people say, I'm gonna just jump ahead. You know, there's a lot of information in that episode. So I don't know if there's something glitched there or what happened. But mostly you'll see there's a consistency in the drops, just a little bit each time. So that's what I look at. Those are the most important pieces of information to me. It lets me know if there's a big drop in one episode later on in the series, I did something wrong and I turned a lot of people off. It has happened and I worked on it, and it seems like those numbers have kind of corrected themselves. So those are things you really want to pay attention to. Another thing not to sleep on is the story follows. There's going to be a lot of people who follow your story that aren't actually going to follow your story, especially other authors looking to get you to read their stuff. I followed your story, so please read my story, please. And that's just something you got to deal with. But a lot of the people who follow your story are readers who are interested in continuing it, who may just be behind. So if you see you have 100 followers, but you're only getting like one read a day or whatever, be patient with those because they will click. In January, I saw my follows skyrocket, but my reads didn't. A lot of new readers came in, but not a lot of people reading through. And I thought, man, my story is turning off a lot of people. Then in February, I didn't get almost any new readers, very few, but I got a lot of unlocks from those readers in January coming back to check out the series again. So checking out your follows, I think, is a good thing. I think that focusing on that and trying to bring in new followers all the time, and people who are going to get those notifications that tell them, oh, new episodes out, come check it out. I think that's really cool. So I would focus on that too. Episode thumbs up. I know I have a bunch, so it makes it seem less sincere, but honestly, I don't think it's as big of a deal as it seems. A lot of people are going to read your story that aren't going to like it. It's just, a lot of people don't know how to. A lot of people don't realize the importance of it. A lot of people are so happy with your story that they're just not thinking about thumbing up. They're just trying to get to the next episode. So I wouldn't focus on those too much. I mean, my episode thumbs up are way lower than my reads, right? There's a lot of questions about the royalties. A lot of people saying, hey, I got like 30 reads yesterday, but I didn't get anything in royalties. That's because Amazon's giving out free tokens, and I know you're getting compensated from those. And hey, congratulations, everyone. We just found out that they're going to extend that from March to July. We're still going to get compensated for those free tokens till July. That's huge. Everybody celebrate. But that doesn't show up in the royalties. So when you see your little numbers on the side there that tells you how much you made for that episode, it doesn't show up there. That comes in the bonus. So that'll come when you get your bonuses. So don't freak out if you're getting a ton of reads, but you're not getting anything in royalties. That's not how it works. That's not how it shows up. All right? I think that's all I got for today. I think I'm all done. I really appreciate y'all being here. You guys are the best. A lot of cool stuff coming up. A lot of really cool interviews. I've got some other people who are going to be joining this channel. We're going to be helping me make some videos, which I will get to later on. We'll talk about that more. That's all still getting finalized, but we're growing. We're going to get bigger. We're going to get better. And you guys are the reason why. I love you all so much, and I'll see you next week. Hit like and subscribe if you're not already. Let's see if there's anything else we can go over here. Let's take a look. Any more data we can do? Let's take a look. Let's look at this crate. Crayon to my head.